Hey, if you're watching this video, I just want to let you know that I manifested you to be here. I manifested you, yeah, you, to watch this video because I know that you need it. I also know that you have the potential to be happier. I know that you have the potential to have a better life. You know these things. I know these things. You're supposed to be here. So, anyway. Hi, it's just me, Nikki Nasty, personally calling you out in an intro of my video. This video is for anyone who wants a no BS video about manifestation, the law of attraction, how to get your dream life. There's a lot of videos about manifestation, the law of attraction, how to get what you want in life, but a lot of it, whenever I would watch them, I would just get kind of like cringy and some of the words didn't make sense and I was like, okay, well this seems unattainable. This is like manifestation for dummies. Yes, I'm calling you a dummy. Ooh, burn. And we're not even a minute into the video. But I do want to talk to you about how you can get your dream life, how I got my dream life, and how I've used the law of attraction to my advantage, how I've gotten so many things in my life because I have manifested. And I feel like it's like a cheat code or like a secret to life, and why not share that with more people? Also, a few months ago, I made a whole podcast episode about this, so if you don't know, I have a podcast called Talk Nasty to Me, so if you want to go listen to a whole hour of me talking about it, there you go. So before we get started into this video, make sure that you subscribe if you want to be nasty, and if not, you're disgusting. Also make sure you have your post notifications on so that you know every single time I post, or else you are gross. Alright, just a quick disclaimer before we really get into it. If you are a non-believer, if this kind of stuff does not interest you, if you find it cheesy, if you find it fake, that is fine. There's quite literally no point in sitting and wasting your time in something that you will not believe in. There's also no point in leaving a mean comment. It says a lot more about you than it does about me. I just want to sit here, share my experience, help some other people because I wish that I knew about this a lot earlier in my life. And also just remember that I don't get any gain from talking about this. Like obviously my videos are monetized and everything. I'm not selling you a product. I'm not selling you anything. Like you're not giving me cash. It's really just a change of mindset and a change of a lifestyle pretty much. And I just kind of want to share what has helped me and maybe will help you. What the heck even is manifesting? You've probably heard that word a million times recently, but maybe you don't even know what it means. So I'm gonna read you a dictionary definition, okay? I'm gonna use my dictionary definition voice. To manifest, verb, something is to bring something forth into your physical life experience by using thoughts, feelings, or beliefs. In simple terms, you think the thoughts and then they happen. And then you're like, whoa. At least that's what happens to me a lot. So a lot of people also associate this word with the law of attraction. The law of attraction is similar. There's steps to it. Steps include step number 1, you gotta know what you want. Step number 2, you have to believe that it will come. You actually genuinely have to believe it. You need to actually act like you know that it's gonna happen. You can't just say like, I'm gonna marry Julian Casablancas. Do I think that's gonna happen? No, genuinely, I don't think that that's gonna happen. So me even manifesting it, there's no point because I don't believe it's gonna happen. I don't foresee that happening in my future, so it's not gonna happen. So you need to believe with every ounce of yourself that this thing will come to you. Number 3, you have to visualize it. You have to see yourself in the position of how you would act if you actually had that thing happen to you. So how would I act if I was married to Mr. Julian? I don't know how he is as a husband. I don't know. Number 4, focus on your inner dialogue. The way that you talk to yourself, the way that your thoughts are thinking. I've talked about this before, but like I don't really believe in like self-deprecating humor because I believe that once you think those thoughts, even though you're joking, you eventually start to believe it. Number 5, you have to let go of whatever you want. You need to understand that it's not gonna happen in that moment. It's gonna happen when the time is right. And you're just accepting of whenever it comes to you. And then number 6, you have to be grateful for everything else in your life. Just sit there, reflect, think about what you do have and how happy you are that you have those things. Within due time, whatever you want will likely come to you. Here's something that I have learned in my life with manifesting and using the law of attraction. Sometimes things might not exactly come in the way that you envisioned in your mind. Sometimes what you want comes in different forms or things that you never would have imagined. I feel so cheesy whenever I'm referring to the universe. Okay, this point of the video, you still might be confused. Like, Nicole, what the heck are you talking about? I still don't really understand what manifesting is. I don't understand what the law of attraction is. How can I use this? What kind of things can I attain? I get it. I hear you. Oh, I'm nauseous. I can't lay on my stomach, but I still do for all of these videos because the mood is just so right. Okay, on to the juicy part. Here's a list of some things that I have manifested. Excuse me. I did not manifest that train to pass by. Here's a list of things that I have manifested. Here's a list of just some things that I have manifested in my life so far in my 21 years of living. I'm not 21 yet, very, very close. I'm manifesting it to stop. Oh my god, it worked. I feel like I've always been a very intuitive person. I feel like I've always had this kind of like stronger feeling and connection to the universe that I just could not relate with anyone around me to talk about. It was always very difficult for me to talk about this with like friends or family because no one really understood what I was saying. I often worry about sounding like crazy when I talk about these things. I manifested the school that I always wanted to go to. I knew from my freshman year of high school that I was going to go to the college that I go to now. I had this really, really strong feeling that I was going to go to this school. I just really believed it. I didn't have really any reason to want to go to this school, and I feel like my entire life has aligned exactly the way that it was supposed to. I don't know how differently my life would have been if I went to a different school. I'm not in love with college. I'm not a big college person. Everyone knows that about me. Graduating in like 3 months or so. I also 100% definitely manifested this YouTube channel. Being a YouTuber has been my dream job since I found YouTube, which was in like 2007. Back then, YouTube was not even a job, but it was something that I was always passionate about. A lot of you guys probably already know my whole YouTube story and don't want to hear it for like the millionth time, but content creation online has always been such a massive passion of mine, and I strayed away from it, but I always knew that I would come back. Even last year when I was working at Chipotle and when I was babysitting, I remember saying very explicitly to my mom, I said, I will never work for anyone else again. I promise you that by summer 2020, this will be my job. This will be something that I make a stable income. I will be financially independent and I will never have to work at Chipotle or babysitting ever again. Keep in mind, at this time, I made $0.00 from YouTube. And it happened a lot sooner than summer 2020. Ugh. My relationship, I feel like I definitely manifested it in a weird way. Long story short, televised program in my area, musical kids. I was in the audience. I saw my boyfriend in the crowd, but stalked my way into finding him. Now we've been dating for 3 years. Prior to me seeing him on stage, literally before the show even started or anything, I'm sitting in the audience and I remember being kind of like lonely. I was surrounded by like all my friends, but I was just like in one of those places where you just feel so alone even when you're surrounded by people. And I remember just like distinctly sitting there and thinking to myself like, I've been single for like a year. I haven't really talked to any guys. No one's really sparked my interest. I wouldn't mind getting into like another relationship even though I'm leaving for college in like 3 months. And when I broke up with my previous boyfriend, I told myself all these things that my future boyfriend had to have characteristic wise and how I deserve to be treated and everything. And then by the end of that night, I saw Adam on stage, told my friend next to me, I said, that is literally the guy that I'm going to marry. Insane. And literally all the criteria that I had for a boyfriend, he fits everything. I've manifested the amount of money I made. There was no way that January 1st, 2020 that I could have predicted how much money I was gonna make this year. YouTube is not like a stable source of income, but somehow I have reached my goals financially. And I even have a list of January 1st, 2020 of these goals I had. And on my list was to have managers and a podcast. These might seem like easy goals, like I can go out and just get them, but you need to understand that January 1st, 2020, these goals seemed like so unattainable. Like they seemed so like far away and distant, something that I wouldn't accomplish for like months. They came to me. They happened. I remember telling myself last summer that I will create a new job position at my university and I will make it happen. And then I quit the job, but I did make that position happen. It is currently a position at my university. I just am not living in it. There was an artist that I said I really, really wanted to work with. I had nothing in connection with this artist. I have no business of working with this artist directly or anything, but I told myself that it would happen, and then I was kind of down about myself because I was like, oh, COVID hit. There's absolutely zero way of this happening. I got word like last week that it may happen. And so a lot of people might see these things and just be like, oh, well, they're just goals that you fulfilled. And like, you're right, they are goals that I have fulfilled, but how many goals are unfulfilled? How many goals do we have as people that we just never fulfill because we never can actually see ourselves getting those goals. A lot of my manifestations did not come true, to be honest, and I like to think that it's the universe having something better for me in store. Manifesting that I would get this job out in the West Coast, working for someone who I idolize. I am such a huge fan of this person. The position worked out perfectly. It seemed like all the stars were aligning, that this was meant to happen, and then it just all fell through and it did not happen, and I was so upset and so angry for a while, like, why didn't this work out? But then COVID got a lot worse. Me being out on the West Coast would have been so terrible. I would have been so isolated. Number two, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to be here and help her through all of it. And number three, I wouldn't have been able to focus on YouTube the way that I have and grown as much as I did the past few months. And I wouldn't have you guys who are watching, because you probably wouldn't have ever stumbled upon my channel. This is just an example of how sometimes the universe has better things for you in store. Now, there's different methods to manifesting and using the law of attraction to get what you want in life. I've seen a lot of people like on TikTok do like a 399 method. I think it's where you like write something down like 3 times 9. I don't know. I personally don't do that. I don't follow other methods that like people tell me to necessarily. I like to trust my own intuition and my own feelings. I don't like to feel like there's a recipe for it, really. If I really, really want something, I will physically write it down somewhere. It's really cool to look back on like a few months or even years later and be like, holy shit, I accomplished that. I didn't realize that I was like manifesting really my whole entire life, kind of. I always had just really strong intuition. I always had really strong feelings when something was about to happen. I always knew when something was meant for me. And I didn't realize that in my mind that was just manifesting it. I like to think that everything in this world is connected and interwoven. Once I realized that, it made me feel a whole lot better about life. I low-key feel like I'm playing a Sims game recently, like in my life, especially since I discovered manifesting, because I feel like I can just say what I want and then the person playing the Sims game that is my life, some people may like to call it the simulation. I don't like to do that. I like to call it the Sims game. We are in Sims 3. The big Nicole, who's actually playing the game, will be like, okay, like I'll give it to her. Like this will be good for her. Another example of me just feeling very connected to the universe and all of that kind of stuff. As some of you may know, the number 11 means so much to me. I see that number constantly and I would always just tell myself like, oh, just means I'm like on the right path. If I see 11, it just means it's a good sign. It's a good number. It's a very spiritual number. And there was also a period of time last year I never saw it. I never ever saw the number 11 ever. And I was in a really, really dark place in my life. But last year I did decide to get the number 11 tattooed on my arm. It was my very first tattoo. But I just want to little reminder always with me that I'm always on the right path, even though it may not feel like it, even though I'm not seeing it in my everyday life. Not to make this all about my YouTube channel, but coincidentally, on that same day, I hit 1,000 subscribers. There was no way I was to know that I was gonna hit 1,000 subscribers that day. My tattoo appointment was scheduled for like a week or two in advance already. It meant so much to me because I felt like I was on the right path in my life. I knew that this was something that I was supposed to be doing. It felt right. Ever since I started YouTube again, everything in my life felt right again. So then I scheduled my second tattoo, which is Miracle Liner. Miracle Liner is a song by the Last Shadow Puppets. It is my favorite song in the entire universe. I did it in my own handwriting because I like to think that I am my own miracle liner. I do not wait around for anyone to grant me anything. Song, it says Miracle Liner, go and get him, tiger. Absolutely. I don't know, I just feel like if I really, really want something in life, then I should go out and get it myself. Once again, coincidentally, scheduled my tattoo appointments 1 to 2 weeks prior. 30 minutes after I got out of my tattoo appointment, I hit 100,000 subscribers. There is absolutely zero way for me to know that on these days I was gonna hit those milestones. You know what I mean? I stopped considering all of these little things as coincidences anymore, and I just started realizing that everything is connected. Oh, not to mention, a lot of people think that Miracle Liner is written about a coke dealer. Pretty sure one of the writers of the song even admitted that. I don't care. Because of manifesting, because of the law of attraction, I am so much more comfortable setting these goals for myself, because for once I'm actually very confident that I will achieve these goals. I'm actually in a position in my life where I want these goals. I used to set goals for myself that I didn't even want. Like, I didn't even want those things actually, and I would never actually achieve them. I would never attain them because, first of all, I didn't want them. Second of all, I didn't see myself getting these things. I think once I started living truly for myself, and believing that I can have anything I want in this lifetime, that's when good really start happening to me. Now, I don't recommend manifesting bad things to happen to others. That's like bad juju. That's like, I feel like something bad's gonna happen to you if you try and do that. I know you're not supposed to like manifest people who are in relationships. Like a lot of people did that for Timothée Chalamet. Like I said before, I really don't think it's like this magical thing and science to prove it. I just think it's a mindset. A lot of manifestation YouTubers will talk about this, but they'll say, you know, you need to set your vibrations on the same level, and I never understood what they meant. I'll try and explain it to you, how I see it at least. Let me think of an example. Let's just say I want to become a ballerina. I personally don't want to become a ballerina, but let's say I did. My vibrations currently are the desperation, the want to be a ballerina. The way that I'm going to become a ballerina is to act like I already am one. How would a ballerina act? What would a ballerina do in her day-to-day life? How does a ballerina live her day-to-day life? Once I start living like I'm a ballerina, I will notice that there are way more doors open, more opportunities open for me to actually be a ballerina, that I would have never seen these doors open before because I never would have realized it. Think of an example of this. You'll never notice yellow cars, but as soon as I tell you to go outside and search for yellow cars, you'll see a lot more yellow cars than you would have realized if I didn't tell you to look for them. And that is raising your frequencies to be on the same level as being a ballerina. Please don't sit back and wait for these things to happen for you. Life does not stop for anyone. It surely does not stop for you. It doesn't stop for me. I think it's just really with what you do with your time while you're on this earth, because we literally don't know how long we have. That's literally not to scare anyone. That's just to encourage you to just live your life to the fullest. If you want a little documentary to watch as like homework, you can watch The Secret if you haven't already heard about that. It's really the only manifestation documentary that I've watched personally. I guess it's a documentary. I don't know. Pretty like funny because it's like centered in the 90s, I believe, or early 2000s. It's kind of hilarious. It's really eye-opening and it's good for a beginner. I remember like watching it and being like, these stories are so interesting. And I kept reminding myself while I would watch it, whenever I would be like skeptical, I would be like, the people in these videos, they're not getting anything from me living my life this way. You know what I mean? They're just spreading this knowledge and encouraging this mindset and lifestyle. I hope that this video was interesting to you. I hope that it maybe helped you and encouraged you to manifest. Life is so cool, and I really started loving and appreciating life not that long ago. I hope that you achieve everything that you want to achieve in life genuinely. If you did enjoy, you can leave me a like because it helps me out so much, and you can also comment any manifestations that you have or any manifestations that you had in the past and that you actually attained. I'm just really curious about them. I think they're so cool to read. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you want to be nasty, and if not, you're disgusting. Also, make sure to have your post notifications on so that you know every single time I post, or else you are gross. Alright, I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna go manifest that my ass has a good night's rest. And also that you subscribe. Most important. Bye!